to Luderitz, a south coastal town in Namibia, with the potential of becoming a city in the future. It is right by the sea and has a harbour that is currently in talks of being expanded.
We spent a week here, and in this video we document what you can get up to in this beautiful town called Luderitz.
So, welcome to Luderitz. Here we are on day one.
Yeah, so just a bit of background around where we are now. We're currently in a park that was made for some fun recreational activities for the children here. And Luderitz is a town or a coastal town in the western side of Namibia. Here in Luderitz, it tends to be really windy, especially during the summer. I don't know if you notice the wind now, but in the summer it gets very windy, and that's why not everyone is inclined to stay in this area, but there's a lot of potential development that is soon to happen here in Luderitz. But it's a fun coastal town. We've been enjoying it, and we're currently in a suburb that's more towards the end of Luderitz, but we'll be showing you more during the rest of our trip here. But Michael, tell us, how was the first day and even yesterday when we've arrived?
Yeah, so you would have seen a bit of footage of us coming in there yesterday. But we arrived around midday, and Daniel and I did a little bit of exploring. Just walked down to the Luderitz sign there, which was actually quite recently built. And first impressions of the town, I can see that it's definitely a town with a lot of potential, as Daniel said, and it's progressing and developing, and very cute, very different from some of the towns that I've been to before in Namibia. Obviously, Windhoek and Rehoboth, very different. Swakopmund, you could say there's some similar elements with some of the German architecture, which we'll definitely be showing later on as well. But yeah, so far, enjoying it.
So, coming into Luderitz, we are pretty tired after a 5-hour drive. Michael has just arrived in Namibia as well a few hours back, where we met him at Marienthal at one of the service stations. So we're driving in, very excited that we are finally arriving at our destination in Luderitz. As you can see, we're driving down where there's a little bit of a harbor, and we're just taking in the view of this wonderful visiting destination.
As Daniel mentioned, we were so excited to finally get home after many hours in the car, specifically for me, having spent almost 24 hours driving up in the bus. But the sight of Nautilus, the suburb that we were staying in Luderitz, was a very welcome sight. Having settled in and unpacked our bags, we decided to go and do a little bit of exploring. Daniel and I went down to go and visit the Luderitz sign, and even down to the beach to go and have a look at the ocean and just dip our toes in the water.
So, as you can see, we're driving down here. There's this wall where all the local businesses advertise their different products, and where you as a visitor can find the wall and look at these different shops that are available within Luderitz, and just view the beautiful sunset as the day is starting to end our first day here in Luderitz.
After a fantastic first day in Luderitz, we decided to do a little bit of exploring. And as Daniel, his brother, and I were driving through the town, I couldn't help but notice how interesting some of the German architecture was in the city. And we decided that we had to do some more exploring the very next day. We spent some time visiting a restaurant, and the next day we decided to visit some other popular locations, which we'll be showing you now. So, here we are at the pinnacle of Luderitz. The first thing that you see when you Google Luderitz actually is this exact view. So as you can see here, we have all the houses spread out in front of us. A lot of the old German architecture, very, very cool to see. And just behind us here, we have the old Lutheran church, which was built in 1911 for the German evangelical Lutheran church community. And as we come around the corner here, you'll actually be able to see also a lovely view of the ocean itself, where there is an oyster farm that has taken place here in Luderitz, and an old, quite famous Namibian hotel.
So as you can see, I'm standing in front of an old power station that's currently had quite a lot of investment. So if you look at the right side, there's a museum in there, and we'll try to get some footage of that for you. Then there's also a NUST research satellite campus that's currently happening, as well as a state-of-the-art gym, fitness center, which you can come and visit when you come down here to Luderitz. And this is being invested in because they would like to make Luderitz a smart town towards the future and also attract young professionals, not just to fluctuate towards Windhoek, which is central Namibia, but to also be part of the coastal and western side here of Namibia. So at the other side of this power station, you notice the beautiful investment that's being put in at this location by the Hyphen project here in Luderitz. And then you see us hitting a liquor gym session where we are hitting our biceps and our back, because as much as we are traveling, we are also here to train our bodies. So here we are at Luderitz. We are here this evening to have a bit of this boerewors and chips, which we saw on a menu that they gave us the other day. Yesterday we just came and checked this place out, and it looked like such a good place to be. So we're going to be reviewing this. Hope you guys enjoy it here at Luderitz. It's a restaurant that used to be the old power station where we are now.
So that was the Vos loaded fries here at the Stevie restaurant. We just shared a plate here just to try out the food here. But honest review, very tasty. Obviously, Boerewors is a common food around the dinner tables here in South Africa and Namibia. But Melly, what do you think for this?
Yes, definitely. I can relate with Michael that the servers are incredible. International standard restaurant, and we have really enjoyed the food. So really come and invest your sources here at this lovely Stevie restaurant in Luderitz. Thank you.
Try it. So here we are at the Diaz Cafe, trying a couple of baked oysters. That's good. Just had the fresh, but this is baked, which comes with cheese, garlic. Still okay. I'm gonna hold in your hand like this. That's it.
Lekker.
We're beautiful. What do we got here, Dan?
So we've got now fresh oysters. The one Michael had was baked, that's what they called it, but this is fresh, so it's raw. And we just put a little Tabasco sauce on, some salt, and some black pepper.
And a bit of lemon.
And a little lemon, we squeezed it on.
Tastes like the ocean.
And it tastes like the ocean, so yeah, so you have it. Beautiful.
And now we have a section on Colmanskop, a must-see location just outside of Luderitz.
First diamond discovered in 1908 by Mr. Zacharias Luwala. His supervisor was a Mr. Augustau. The Sperrgebied area was then created because we were colonized by Germany. Mining, 1928, the next big find was made 40 kilometers from Kolmanskop in Elizabeth Bay Mine. 1938, all the men, all the machinery gets sent from Kolmanskop to Elizabeth Bay Mine, but production still continues. It's only in 1956 that the hospital closed and that everyone packs up and leaves Kolmanskop. So that is a brief history of the Kolmanskop diamond mining.
As it was my first time at Colmanskop, I had to make sure I take everything in with my brother there and Michael. So, Colmanskop had such beautiful old dilapidated buildings, yet still standing after so many years of having no one staying there. You can then see the precision and all the effort that the Germans did to put in the time to be there and make sure that their structures are solid.
Colmanskop was by far one of my favorite sites that we saw during our time here in Luderitz. It was so fascinating to see this abandoned ghost town and to learn about the history of this German mining town and the families that once lived here. Another interesting fact about Kolmanskop is that the hit TV show Fallout that recently came out actually filmed some of their scenes right here in Kolmanskop. On that same day, we decided to make a trip to Diaz Point, which is not too far of a journey, but it was so worth it to see this historical site.
Bartholomew Diaz discovered Diaz Point in the 15th century, as well as what Cape Town is today, which he then called the Cape of Storms. Funny enough, that's also where he crashed. So you can see the waves are crashing and the beautiful light tower that there is as well. Funny enough, don't leave your lights on because otherwise you might get stuck as we did, but we got a solution. Yeah, so final morning here in Luderitz. It's a bittersweet moment. Excited to be going back home, but also would have loved to stay and explore more here in Luderitz. It's been a wonderful time for us here at BTY just to take in what Luderitz has to offer. So this is us saying goodbye to Luderitz this morning. We are in the same location where we've started this video off, in front of the Luderitz sign.
But yeah, it's been such a lovely time here, man. Enjoyed it. It was a pleasure to stay with Daniel and his family while we were here. But yeah, we got to see quite a lot. We went to go see some of the sites. You would have seen KolmansKop that we went to go visit. We went to go see Diaz Point, another good couple of good tourist destinations. We are just around 10 to 15 minutes outside of Luderitz. And yeah, we came to see the sign. We tried a couple of the restaurants. We had a fitness session. So I think we used that time well. But definitely, yeah, I mean, I've done a fair amount of traveling in my life around, Southern Africa specifically. And definitely a cool location. I think very different from all the places I've ever been to before in my life. So it's been cool to see something like that. A little bit of what Namibia has to offer on the west coast here.
Yeah, and just also the people here in Luderitz are very friendly. When we're walking past now, like to get to the beach, this one lady greeted us. So they are very open to having people come and take a bit of their space and just see what they can get about doing. They like making conversations. Like Michael said, the restaurant, the food was good. The waiter services are on point. They are there to help you. You don't have to wait for service. And also just, it's been beautiful to see all the historical richness that Luderitz has. How it started off, what happened around here, why Luderitz is situated where it is, and also all the potential that it has going forward. I must say the future looks bright for Luderitz and for Namibia. I'm sure if you are watching this, you are aware of the hydrogen discoveries or the projects that are being taken on by Hyphen here in Luderitz, as well as the oil discoveries also in Luderitz and more towards the north of Namibia. So yeah, like a prosperous future here in Namibia. But it's been wonderful in Luderitz, and we look forward to showing you more of this type of content.
I couldn't agree more. But Dan, as we wrap up here, what would you give Luderitz as a tourist destination? A little rating for those who are looking to come.
So I would say a little 7 out of 10.
Good stuff. I would also give a 7.5 out of 10, like you say, and the potential is definitely there to grow. One last thing is this is actually a good time of year to come. So if you are coming and you want to avoid the wind, then maybe come around June, July. That's the time we've been here, and it's been lovely. As you can see this morning, not a breath of wind. Although in some of our other clips, there was definitely some wind.
Yeah.
You can't avoid it entirely. But yeah, Dan, been a pleasure. Hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of content. And yeah, we look forward to showing you a bit more of Namibia and what there is to do in the surrounding cities. But if you've enjoyed, please make sure to like this video, as well as subscribe to this channel if you want to see videos all around self-improvement. We want to get more into the traveling space and just expanding all areas of your life. It's not confined to any specific genre. But yeah, we'll see you very soon for another video. Much love from BTY.